Hello, I'm Emily. I'm an educator at MOHAI, and this is Collection Connections Objects in Questions, where we take a quick peek into Seattle history by looking really closely at one item in our teaching collection to see what it can tell us about the past. Today, we're going to be looking at early Northwest explorers, and our object is this. But before we get started, let's have a think. So what do you think about when you think about early Northwest explorers? For me, I think about the word explorer. So somebody who is traveling somewhere new, someplace they've never been before, probably have a lot of questions about it. And when I think about early explorers in the Pacific Northwest, I'm usually thinking about people coming here in the 1700s. They're traveling from places mostly in Europe, like Spain, Britain, France, and they're usually hired in order to gather information, find new places that countries might be interested in claiming or expanding territories into. Sometimes they're being hired to establish new trade routes, and they're usually traveling by ship. So when I think about traveling across the ocean on a ship, I kind of imagine just what the horizon looks like, and to be completely surrounded by water. I think about being on a big boat that's made out of wood with really huge sails, and I think about all the people that would be needed to work on that ship and some of the tools that they might need, like rope or a compass or I don't know, pen and paper, probably some maps or like a spyglass. So yeah, I think that's what I think about when I think about early Northwest explorers.
This is the object we'll be exploring today. Our first step is to use our senses to make as many observations as possible. So looking at the colors and materials, I'm noticing a lot of brass metal. We've got some silver metal going along this edge here. We've got some mirrors made of glass and some lenses that are shaded in different colors. That makes a nice noise. And we've got on the other side some wood over here. And as far as parts and pieces go, we've got this spyglass looking thing. We've got a couple of mirrors and lots of lenses, and they all move. We've got this arm here that moves as well. This piece here, if you look really closely, you'll notice that it magnifies and makes bigger the numbers and markings that you see underneath. And on the other side, this definitely seems like a handle to me. It looks like it's meant for picking up and having fingers in there. And you'll also notice that it has some legs on the bottom side. And it's really light, it's easy to pick up, it's easy to hold with one hand, and it's kind of shaped like a pizza. It's got this kind of pizza shape, and it's got these circles on the inside, and that's a great first set of things to notice about our object. So because of these markings along here, they're going from 0 to 120, and they're in increments of 10. So it goes 0, 10, 20, 30, and so on, which is reminding me of a protractor. So I think it's used for measuring angles. And then because of this spyglass over here, looking at a mirror and kind of seeing things that are around this object, I'm thinking that this is also used for looking at things that are far away. So measuring and looking at things far away. That's my guess.
Ta-da! This painting has a person using our object in it, and they are on a boat with a bunch of people, which tells me that this is an object used at sea, and they also look like the captain of the ship because they've got a really fun hat and are wearing a military-style jacket while everyone else is not. This object is called a sextant, and early explorers would use this to help them navigate when they were at sea. It would help them take measurements by looking at the sun and the stars and the horizon, which is the place where the water meets the sky. And they would use these measurements to find their way and make maps to help themselves and others know where they were going. So what does looking at the sextant tell us about early Northwest explorers? One of the things that I've learned is that they used non-digital technology. This is something that you could use anywhere without electricity. It would require some skill, and probably some clear skies so you could see the sun and the stars, so you could take those measurements. And this also tells me that people who were traveling on these ships had skills, like navigation skills, that would help them find their way, and probably a lot of other skills as well. Well, I'm still really curious how exactly a sextant works and what the process is like for making a map using a sextant. What questions do you have about early Northwest explorers or navigating by sea? To explore some of your history questions, you can visit the MOHAI website at mohai.org. That's mohai.org. And if you have any topic requests that you would like to see on future collection, connection, objects and questions videos, you can email us at education@mohai.org. Thanks for watching.